All right. Welcome back here to The Hill on News Nation, live once again from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Would you look at that?
Woo.
A gorgeous night here in Alabama as we approach, what is it, 5 o'clock local here? Yeah, the sun's setting. That's the quad. That's us there in the tent. A day after the News Nation GOP presidential debate. Joining us now, one of last night's moderators, of course, News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas. Elizabeth.
Thank you.
What's up? Hello.
I'm freezing.
It is cold. You got the hand warmers.
Beautiful but cold. I got my hand warmers. Somebody took my hot tea away from me.
Rock on.
Oh,
that was awesome last night. Did you have fun with that?
I did.
Yeah?
I did. I had a lot of fun.
What'd you make of it? What was it like being in the captain's chair there?
You know, we really, as we planned our questions, really wanted these candidates to debate each other. The first three debates, there wasn't a lot of debating each other. There was in debate 2, there was a lot of shouting over each other where you couldn't hear what anybody was saying. But, you know, that's what a debate is for.
Right.
For candidates to really talk about the differences in their own policies. So we also worked very hard to ask very specific questions, not open-ended questions.
Yeah.
So that we could pin them down, because I had a whole series of questions on the southern border and the crisis on the border, because they've all talked super tough on this issue. It's not clear how realistic a lot of what they're proposing actually is. I mean, it's great to say I'm going to seal the border on day 1 and I'm going to attack the Mexican drug cartels in Mexico.
Right.
Until you get into the details.
Right. Ron DeSantis sort of walked some of that back last night, which I found to be interesting. Speaking of DeSantis, you asked a pretty pointed question.
Yes.
Is Donald Trump mentally fit? And I thought, we talked about this at the top of the show, it was one of the key moments of the debate. Here it was, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Why doesn't he just answer the question? The question was very direct. Is he fit to be president or isn't he?
Father Time is undefeated. I don't know how he would score on a test, but I know this. We have an opportunity to nominate someone and elect someone for 2 terms who's going to be spitting nails on day 1 and for 8 years deliver you big result. We should not nominate somebody who's almost 80 years old.
He's afraid to answer.
No, I'm not.
He has said that Joe Biden is experiencing cognitive decline. He wouldn't describe Donald Trump, though, wouldn't answer about Donald Trump.
No, he wouldn't. And this is at a time when his campaign is running an ad. An ad clearly saying he's not mentally fit. It's an ad edited together, a compilation of videos of Donald Trump sounding confused and disjointed as he speaks. So if you're going to put the ad out there, stand behind it.
Yeah.
And my gosh, we are, 6 weeks away from the Iowa caucuses?
Yeah.
This is the time. If you're going to make your case that he's not mentally fit to be... He tried to have it a little bit of both ways. He said repeatedly, he's 80, he's too old. It's too old. This is not a job for an 80-year-old. But he didn't come right out and say what a lot of people have been saying, actually, and what certainly Chris Christie is saying, which is that he is not mentally fit.
You're the messaging pro. You think he didn't really stick the landing there?
I think the point, and I said it earlier, and Elizabeth hit the nail on the head here, if you're going to put the ad up to make the accusation, then you either have to stand by it or walk it back, but you can't equivocate. I think he could have handled it better by saying something to the effect of, hey, look, we all lose something as we get older. I was making that point in the ad, but he didn't want to go anywhere near it. And it's like, you put the ad out, at least explain the ad then.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.